This is Robert Parker. I'm the founder over at Rekko, and today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about campaign analytics. This demonstration is going to give you an overview of how we look at performance of an individual campaign through our campaign dashboard landing page. So what I've done is I've pulled up a campaign that one of our customers, 1-800 Bakery, is running. And this particular campaign is a pop-on style email capture form. This is being delivered by Rekko. If you visit the 1-800 Bakery website and you browse around, you will likely be engaged by this campaign. It's been a very, very successful campaign for Chef Steve and the 1-800 Bakery team. And I'm going to take you to a campaign detail analytics page. I've already got it open in this tab, and look at some of the performance metrics in the way that we look at campaigns inside of the Rekko Marketing Cloud. So up here on the top left, you'll see a very simple way that we toggle campaigns on and off. So flighting a campaign on our system doesn't require any code changes to the website. You configure the campaign in the marketing dashboard and you simply flick it on or off by clicking on this toggle. I'm not going to change this because I'm actually on the live site. The numbers that you're looking at here and data has been obfuscated, so we've run a little script that modifies these numbers to protect the privacy of the 1-800 Bakery team's website and the people that are being engaged by this. But I can tell you that the numbers are proportionally accurate and significantly better than what we're actually showing here. Up here, so right below the on-off switch, you'll see there's a star. The star allows you to favorite or bookmark a campaign, and you can filter by that in the in the Rekko dashboard. So if you are creating a new campaign and you quickly want to highlight that campaign on the Rekko dashboard, you could simply click that and favorite, and I'll show you that's kind of how you do it. Below that you have tags. So tags are exactly what they sound like. They're tags that allow you to filter based off of whatever criteria you want to use. Here is the name of the campaign, and if I were to click on that, it would allow me to, or it would take me to the campaign edit section, and it would allow me to make modifications to this particular campaign. On the right is an edit button. You can also edit from there, as well as a campaign preview, which will open up the campaign in a preview window. Below that, you've got, and this is actually my favorite part of the campaign analytics, is our KPIs, KPI circles. And what we've done is we've picked out the 4 KPIs that we think are most important for the vast majority of the types of campaigns that our customers are running. And those are, and I'll just go through the 4: unique people, campaign goals, the goal rate, and revenue associated with goals. And I'll speak briefly about that and then show you how you can customize that. So in this particular instance, over the last week, and the date range is available here, you can change it through this dropdown. 3,720 people have been engaged by this campaign. And since this campaign is generally delivered once per visitor, you can assume that 3,720 people have seen the pop-on form. And of those, 312 campaign goals have been achieved. If you're not familiar what a marketing goal is, it's generally the event or the desired outcome that you want to measure from the marketing campaign. So in this particular case, a campaign goal is going to be a successful capture of an email address. The goal rate is going to be the conversion rate of goals over the people that were engaged by this particular campaign. And goal-based revenue is a new metric that we've added recently in the Rekko Marketing Cloud. And that is the revenue that's associated with goals that are matched. And so one of the big feedback circles that we got from our customers was, they asked, Robert, how is the campaign doing and how much money is it making me, right? And so we try to answer that in the dashboard through a very kind of easy to see, easy to understand interface. And so goal-based revenue is going to take you over the last, say, 7 days. If I were to change the date range here, you'll see that these numbers are going to update. And actually, since I'm doing this on a Saturday night right before Sunday, it didn't change, but I can change this to say last 30 days, and you'll see that the numbers are going to update. And this particular campaign has made almost $5,300 in goal-based revenue. So the way that we measure goal-based revenue is exactly what it sounds like, the revenue that's associated with goal matches. So over the last 30 days, the goal of this campaign are people that are engaged by the campaign, fill it out in the same session, and within that same session also purchase. So the net effect of this campaign is actually significantly higher because there's follow-on purchases that happen after the initial session. So they come back and purchase the second session, or in a third or fourth session. Those are not measured in this particular metric, and so I think the actual revenue impact on this campaign is going to be a multiple higher than it is reported here. But this is actually going to show you the revenue associated with people that purchased in the same session they filled out the form. The other thing that you'll see, and you'll notice this very, very quickly, is that there are colored borders around these circles. And so this answers that first question that our customers were asking us is, how well is the campaign doing? And so there's a key below these circles that show you either a green, red, or neutral, which is gray, ring around the metric. And so what that tells you is if it's green, that means you're doing better than the time ago period. So in this particular case, 8.64% goal rate is doing better than we did the previous 30 days. Goal revenue is doing better. And if you mouse over the metric, you'll see how much better. So we're doing $668 better, which is a 14% improvement over the previous 30 days. And on a goal rate base, we're about half a percent up, which is about a 6% improvement. On goals, we're within kind of a median range, and so on and so forth. And you also saw when I moused over that there was a drop down. And so we've selected the 4 metrics that we think are most important, but there's obviously quite a few other metrics, some of which may be more important to you for this particular or for a particular campaign that you are running. AOV, transactions from click-throughs, or transactions from gross impressions or deliveries. Those are all available here, and you can modify those very, very easily. Moving down, you'll see a traditional graph that graphs both your deliveries and the goal matches. And so that's very easy to see. That's pretty self-explanatory. And then on the left side, again, we think deltas are really important. People want to understand how well the campaign is doing from a trending basis. And so under the key metrics, we have 3 major categories of metrics that we report on. And those are going to be activity, goals, and event tracking, and campaign or e-commerce data, or campaign e-commerce data. So the activity report, or the activity metrics, I should say, are going to measure things like impressions, which are deliveries, people, which are unique deliveries, clicks and click-through rates. And then you'll see that there are columns that are customizable. So if I were to click on any of these, I could change the date ranges that I want, and the deltas will automatically update. So you can see how you're doing relative to another time period that you're interested in. The goals are similar. And then for customers that are actually selling goods on their website, we report on transactional data there, transactions, conversion rates, and AOV. On the right side, we have visitors that, or we have a log that we display. And the reason that we came up with the log is because customers were having some trouble understanding their analytics, and quite honestly, the analytics packages that they're used to, whether it's Google Analytics or Omniture, whatever it is, tend to do a really, really good job of homogenizing data. They take the data and they blend it all together, and then they present you with an end number. Our customers wanted to see how we got to that number, and so they said, Robert, that's great that we're doing a 3.7% conversion rate, and we used to do 3%, but tell me, who exactly are we impacting? And it's really, really good because when you provide that level of transparency and you can connect visitor A that clicked on this to a back-end order in your Shopify or Magento system, the numbers start to come alive. And so we added this in a recent update. And this is actually very similar to the kind of the timeline video that we did previously, where you can see the events as they happen on your website. So we've created a log here, and this log is going to display visitors that match this particular goal over the last 24 hours. So in this particular case, it's visitors that clicked because clicking is the goal. And again, as a reminder, we've obfuscated the data to protect these email addresses, But if you were logged into your own Rekko account, or if Chef Steve was logged into this account, you would see actual names and email addresses here. Um, so it's going to show you from a kind of a descending time um, order how long ago these matches happened, these goals were reached, the email addresses that are associated with it, and then any geography or transactional data. This particular person, a couple hours ago, filled out the form, the email capture form, and subsequently purchased and bought $77.40. Now, below the log, what you've got is a table that shows you the performance of the individual creatives that this particular campaign had. So, one of the key features of Rekko and the Rekko campaign delivery engine is the ability to A/B test anything. And so, if you were to compare the performance of, say, one pop-on form versus a second and versus a third, so variant A versus variant B versus variant C, in an A/B test or an automatically optimizing A/B test, you would be able to look at the individual performance metrics of each of those variants and see impressions or click-throughs or how many goals or how much each variant made you in order to determine a winner if you weren't using our automatically optimizing option. And so that would be available in this particular table. In this case, there's only one variant being delivered. And if I were to click on real-time updates here, you would see that these numbers would be updated in real time. For the purposes of this demo, I went ahead and turned it off. I think earlier in the actual screencast, some of the numbers up at the top in the KPI section, the KPI circles, were updating in real time. Those will always update in real time. Now below that, we've got our timeline section. So if you had taken a look at our timeline video previously, we've got a timeline which is a Facebook-like feed of all of the most important events that are happening on your website. And that, of course, is also updated in real time. What we added to the campaign analytics dashboard is a timeline that's specific to a campaign. Incredibly useful when you are recently making a modification or you just launched a campaign for the first time. You can launch a campaign in the morning, come back after lunch, and see all of the key events that are happening on this campaign. So in this particular case with an email capture form, you would see the performance goals, so goal matches, click-throughs. Again, if this had more than one variant, say a different design, it would show you the design that they actually clicked on, the geo lookup. And if I wanted to, I could actually click on this particular visitor and get all of their clickstream data, shopping cart data, access their full Rekko biography. So this is really, really useful and allows you to kind of play back how well the campaign is done and see the key events if you want to kind of look at it at a micro level. So I appreciate the time that you guys spent with me on the Rekko campaign dashboard landing page and all of the analytics. If you have any questions, please do feel free to reach out. And until next time, thank you very much.